Test 1 2 1 2. We should have a microphone now. Test, test. What's going on there, everybody? It's Patrick. All right. I think we got everything going now. I didn't have a microphone there the first time. So, mic's working. We're working. All right. I'm actually got a little bit of a format to go with tonight from the last live we did. We're going to start out with a little outdoor news and little things that are going on. What's going on goes tactical. So when this goes back up, you'll be able to, you'll have what I've talked about tonight. Like I said, the first thing we're going to go over is outdoor news, things that may be going on that, you didn't know about. One of the things I'm going to hit on real quick is during this COVID thing, our state parks were closed for maybe a month and they reopened. And I think it was very profitable for them to open. And let me give you a little instance. The month of October, we had 62,000 camping nights sold in the state of Tennessee. Now, in June, they only had 57,000. That's a hell of a bump from June to October. People were getting out and getting with it and kind of being at home. I know for a fact that, I was looking through different states and stuff like that, and they were all the ones that opened or stayed open during the month from, we opened back up in May. So from May on, they saw astounding numbers in the parks and in the national parks that were open. I mean, they didn't open back up until later on down the road. So the outdoor enthusiasts grew. It's kind of funny, what has taken off during the pandemic. Outdoor enthusiasts, good Lord, gun sales, ammo sales. New president, boy, let me tell you, that kind of upped the game too a little bit. So, all this stuff that's coming ahead in 2021, don't know where it's going to lead to, but I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon either. I especially see that, like, the guns and ammo thing really, staying where it's at right now. I don't see anything changing. Ghost Tactical in here, I bet he could tell you the same thing, that, you don't see it dying down anytime soon. So let's get on into more headlines and news that I saw briefly. One of the places I went in hike camp, what's up, buddy? One of the places I went to during Thanksgiving was Pilot Mountain. I found a news article that happened this week. Woman seriously hurt in fall at Pilot Mountain State Park. Now, I read the gist of the news story, and basically, you had a lady that was in, and I say a lady, one a young lady. She was in her 60s, which getting out there. She was walking on what they considered a very strenuous trail that was a cliff line trail, and she fell. And what they didn't say how far she fell, they just said a great distance. And it was kind of creepy. The rest of the story said that when she left the scene, she had a pulse. So they didn't say whether she survived it or what, but that's one of those things that, hopefully she had a partner with her, or somebody knew, or somebody saw, or something happened, A lot of us take for granted when we go out and hike these trails by ourselves, that, nothing's going to happen. And I'm sure this is one of those cases. It could have been raining, could have been slick. I don't know. They don't tell that. They just tell that, she fell, and she fell a great distance, and she was in pretty bad shape. So that's why, you definitely tell somebody you're going somewhere. You definitely tell people where you're going to be. Like when I leave here, I tell my wife, hey, I'm going to Cedars 11 State Park. I'll let you know when I get back in the truck to come back home. If I have any problems, I'm in the state park. Usually I have cell service. If you don't, I think Hike Camp has a GPS, not GPS, what am I trying to say here? A satellite transmitting type device that can send signals out, whether it be a message or something of that nature, letting everybody know that you're okay or whatever. So it's always important that we do something like that when we go out and hit the trails and that kind of stuff. Okay, so my Hike Camp's got a spot. I've been looking at those, and if I do some stuff that I'm going to be doing in the future this year, that a couple of them I'd planned for last year, and COVID and my health and stuff like that. Unpaved Explorer, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I may be investing in one of those spots, Max. I may be doing that for sure. All right, so on into the headlines. Like I said, what I'm going to start doing is at the beginning of each one of these, when I do them, I'm going to go over headlines for outdoors, camping, shooting, whatever. Found this, which I thought was kind of interesting. Trash from Mount Everest to be turned into an art highlighting garbage problem. Now, this is kind of interesting. Yeah, it is a great piece of tool to have with you, to have one of those spots. And I think Garmin makes one. I think there's a couple others out there that use the satellite to communicate back and forth to home. We may get into that. Eventually, I want to get this where I can have people on. I'm going to get software to where I can bring people in as guests and stuff. Right now, I'm still getting my feet wet. So anyway, I was talking about this thing from Mount Everest where they're turning trash into art there at Everest to kind of bring it to people's attention. Let's clean up after ourselves. Max had a cool video this week talking about, no, it's last week. Sorry, Max. It was last week talking about picking up your dog poop when you go to the parks. If they poop on the trail, at least get it off the trail. At least get it out of the public area. But the same thing goes for your trash when you're out there. Don't just throw it down on the ground. Put it back in your pack. Take it out with you. It's leave no trace. I mean, it's preached everywhere out in the outdoor community. Leave no trace. So if you watch a video from somebody camping, hiking, backpacking, even shooting range, I hear the stories from out west where people go to the shooting ranges and there's trash everywhere because people just leave their crap. And not cool. Not cool at all. Take care of this earth so that your kids can bring their kids and their kids to the same places we go to. So if you don't keep it clean, and that was another article I read too, talking about the effects that all the extra people coming into the park systems of late have had on the environment. And I can just imagine if, all these new people are coming into the outdoors, like I said, whether it be shooting, whether it be hiking, camping, backpacking, whatever, they may not know, and that's up to us to teach them, leave no trace. I'm going to tell you something. If you're in the Scouts, and I find out you were in the Scouts and you're throwing your trash down, I'm going to kick your butt because it's leave no trace. So anyway, that's pretty neat. They're doing that, kind of throw it up in the people's faces that, hey, pick your trash up, pick your stuff up. So the last little article I have, I found this and I find it kind of interesting. And this was put out just this week, I think it was. Appalachian Trail through hikers won't be recognized this year over coronavirus concerns. According to the ATC, which is Appalachian Trail Conservation or whatever, is discouraging people from attempting to hike the entire 2,190-mile trail called the Through Hike, and has said it would not recognize attempted through hikes until the coronavirus pandemic is under control. How many variants of this thing that they've found now in just in the last couple of weeks? A bunch. So that getting it under control may not happen anytime soon. It's sad. I mean, I hate to see that, we're maybe forced into this for a little bit longer, but it is what it is. Another thing I want to bring up, I also do, is channel shout outs and channels I've been watching this week. I'll give you a couple. I'm going to go back to one of them I did last week, and that's Kurt Zitzelman. Man, he's got another cool video from the Grand Canyon, and I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Just go check it out. It was pretty cool. Another one I've gotten into watching, and I've done a few things with Jeeps on my channel. Bill, that has the blue Jeep. He actually had the tan Jeep. Now he's got the blue Jeep. Blah, blah, blah. Like I said, we've done a few things with his Jeep. We're eventually going to do more things with his Jeep. I don't know. At some point, I might get something different and get something more off-roady. I wish now, I always kick myself that I didn't get a four-wheel drive truck when I got a truck. But it is what it is. I'll do what I can with what I got. But as far as overlanding, one of the channels I've been watching here lately is Ozarks Overlanding Adventures. Guy's out of Arkansas. And he does a lot of exploring through the Ozark Mountains, but he also goes out west and goes to the Mojave out in that area and does some other pretty cool trips. So that's another channel to go check out at some point. They got some really cool trips, but he did a by himself Jeep trip this past week, I guess it was, and almost got himself in a little bit of a mess. I want a side-by-side, but don't have the cash. No kidding, Max. Even those things used are ridiculous. I actually kind of dibbled looking at side-by-sides that I could throw on a trailer and pull behind the truck. And I found a used one. I thought, hey, this one isn't bad. And I'm reading down, and they still wanted $15,000 for it. I'm like, wait a minute. I could buy an old Jeep for that and take that thing out anywhere I wanted to go. So, yeah, I agree. The side-by-sides would be great. And I will say there are some instances, and we'll talk more about this. At some point, I'm going to have Bill on with me, be in studio, and we're going to talk about a little more and get into a little more of the Jeep thing and stuff like that. That's what they have. Yeah, it is nuts what they want for them. And let me tell you, once you buy one, if you buy one stock, then you start wanting to add things to it that's not there, and you start spending a lot more money. And I will tell you, Jeeps, they're not cheap to get into either. I mean, God, time you go buy a winch set up, bumper to put the winch on, you can be well over $3-4 grand just in that setup alone. Anyway, let me get back. Let's finish up the news and stuff, and then we'll get to the open talk, as I call it. Anyway, so that's one of the other channels I watch. If you're a big follower of Joe Robinette and been wondering where he's been, he's got a new video out that explains what's been going on. Sounds like he kind of took a little break from YouTube a little bit to be a family dude, and that's totally understandable. We all have to do that from time to time. So go check him out and check out his newest video. He's at the fort, so he's back at the fort, guys. Anyway, so with that, last week, the beginning of the month, Hobo Cop was in here. I don't see him in here yet. He was in here and asked what people preferred or people use trekking poles. And I brought in examples of that tonight. Now, this is one of my trekking poles, which is a Yukon Charlie. It's a collapsible one. You twist it, and it extends out and comes out to the height you want it. Generally speaking, you want your trekking pole, your arm to be, in an L shape when you're walking. You don't want it straight out. You don't want it above you. You want it straight out, is what I've always been told. Now, one of the ones, and this one got me through Williamsburg in different places. When I'm walking very far, I use this thing. It's got a little rubber nub in it, and then it's got my medallions from scouting. I'll turn it around where everybody can see it. Eagle Scout badge, Order of the Arrow. There's my 50-miler hiking badge that I got when I was in the Scouts, and then that's the Tennessee State Park thing. I've got one from Williamsburg that I'm going to put on there, and that'll probably be the last one unless I go to a national thing somewhere. Then I might throw one on it from there. So anyways, that's going to be my cousin sold his side-by-side. It was his father's, my uncle, who recently passed away. It cost $13,800, and he sold it for $3,200. Just good Lord, man! I wished I'd known. We're gonna get into open talk. Let's just get into open talk. I'm done with the news and showing off the trekking poles. So when you watch this later, you catch that. Catch the trekking poles. Talking about side-by-sides, one of the, now I will tell you the trails I've been to with Bill in the Jeep, usually, you have courtesy on everything, and you should have common courtesy when you're hiking. You should be common courtesy when you're camping, all that stuff. The off-road guys have a common courtesy themselves. And what it is, basically, if you're on a trail and you're in a Jeep, and a side-by-side or four-wheeler or something of that nature is coming towards you, they're to move over to the side because they can take up less room off the shoulder than the Jeep can. I have heard of collisions on trails where these guys on these side-by-sides, now I'm going to tell you, most of your Jeep guys are maybe going 15 miles an hour at the most. They're creeping along. A lot of these trails they're having to creep along because they're having to articulate through some of the trails through the mud, whatever. These side-by-sides are a little different. You can bust through some of these trails at 35, 40 miles an hour, and there are instances where these two meet up, and it's not a good thing at the end. Usually the Jeep survives it. Side-by-side doesn't. Now, what else is crazy is we've been up to Land Between the Lakes, and towards the end of the day is seeing the wounded side-by-sides coming out that didn't make it. Well, and you have some Jeeps and stuff like that, off-road vehicles doing the same thing. But I've seen side-by-sides sitting there missing the whole front suspension off of one side of it where they tore it off. That gets costly quick. You think about, when you get into off-roading, whether it be side-by-sides or Jeeps, you get into fishing. If you buy a boat, what is it? Boat stands for break out another 1,000. I think it's what what it stands for? Yeah, yeah. That's another thing, Max. There's a trail near me that doubles as a hiking trail and a bike trail. Now I'm talking about mountain bikes. Me and Chase were on it one time. It's just down the road. Me and Chase were on it, and out of nowhere, these bikes come hurling past us. Of course, we were walking, and it scared the daylights out of us. But we knew that going in that we could see a bike, but I don't know. You have to share with everybody. Now, granted, those bikes, it's hard for them to quick maneuver on a small trail just like us. I mean, we can step to the side, but when you come over a hill, just like Max is saying, that could cause a problem. It cause a real problem real quick. Now I know some of these people out there, Thailand C, go check out his channel. I posted on Instagram. I just got one of his patches of his sat van. It's in the truck now. That's a video. It's actually coming out next week sometime, next Thursday, I think. I gotta get more water. I haven't been having enough water. Anyway, he has one of those electric mountain bikes, so them things can scoot along pretty good. And I imagine, you get one of those and run up against a hiker, that could be pretty bad too. Somebody's probably going to ER, probably both of you. But yeah, that's one of the problems, But Max, going back to your video too, talking about leaving no trace and how bad it has gotten. I did notice when I was up at Cedars 11 and I filmed that video last week, there was a lot of trash in places. Now I know it's from the newer people that really don't. I get it. There's a lot of new people that are getting out there that don't know the rules of the land, and they really, it's up to us to help teach it. I don't want to be a fuddy-duddy and don't want to be a butt about it, but we got to do what we got to do to teach these new outdoor people, these people trying to get away from being stuck in the house, that, hey, when you get out here, there's a few things you need to do. And one of those is leaving no trace and that stuff. I see that close call was the bike catching air. And if he had hit me, I would have, yeah. Especially if they come over a hill and they're catching air to go over and land. Up at Windrock, we noticed there's a bike trail that's separate, totally separate from the off-road trails. And it comes down the side. When I say it comes down, I mean the side of this hill is like this. And you can see those ramps coming down and where they land like 30 feet below. And I told Bill I'd love to be up there just to watch those guys come off of those mountains and, jumping and making the jump to the next station and stuff. That would be wild. That would be wild to see. But the other thing too is a lot of let's get back on. We'll get back on to talking about the new people that are getting outdoors. And like I said, that one story I read from the state of Tennessee, with October being the biggest month they've had of the year as far as people coming to the parks and selling campsites for the night. That's not including the people that come just to hike and just to, see the attractions, whether it be like Fall Creek Falls, seeing the waterfalls, being out desert somewhere, seeing, some big rock or Grand Canyon. A lot of these people don't know the law of the outdoors, shall we say, the unspoken law. The leave no trace, the, knowing when there's fire bans, don't start a fire because it could burn the dang place down. Um, you know, there's always alternatives. You know, if there's a fire ban out, use a gas stove. You know, I'm sorry if it's cold out, you're just gonna have to be cold. And I know out west there's fire bans all the time, and even in the winter there's fire bans and you can't have fires. Um, I want to eventually, like I said, I want to get into a little bit of overlanding. I want to take a trip wherever it is, and all the beer cans. Yeah, beer cans. There was a trail we were on. Me and Chloe were on here not too long ago, last year, maybe the year before last. And we were hiking. She goes, "What's all this glass from?" I said, "Well, that's where people come back here and drink and bust their bottles when they get done. Instead of put it in a bag, take it out, even though you're not supposed to be there with alcohol anyway." But it is what it is. Um, I'm not one of those that's going to say you can't have a drink in camp. You can have a drink in camp. You can hide it, but don't be leaving the beer cans and the beer bottles and just breaking them and crap like that. Just take care of your trash. They won't say nothing to you. I mean, they're not going to come haul you off to jail if they find out you got a little flask over there and you're drinking a little whiskey. But if you're back here having a big party, they're going to haul your butt to jail because you're being stupid. It's not, that's just bare bones, truth. That's all it is to it. But being respectful of one another in the outdoors is another thing. As YouTubers, when we're hiking or camping or stuff and we're videoing the whole time, or videoing a good chunk of the time, I have this golden rule when I'm hiking. If I'm on a busy trail and I see people coming, I'll stop the video. I'll stop shooting the video and act like I'm just taking pictures, and then go back to videoing and take off. I just do that because I don't want somebody to feel like, oh, he's videoing us and that kind of thing. That's why I like getting campsites that are kind of away from everybody, and I kind of try to put, like this next camping trip we're going to do, and I haven't said anything about it. I haven't decided exactly when I'm going. It's probably going to have to warm up because my insulated self is not so insulated anymore, so I get cold easier. Like right now, I'm sitting out in the garage. I've got a heater sitting 2 feet from me, and I've got this hoodie on, and I got a stocking hat on because I'm cold, a little chilly. Yeah, Max. I don't, I try not to video other people, and sometimes I'll be in the middle of a conversation and people will walk by, and I just kind of pause it and make sure the camera's not facing them, so that that's not a thing and it's not brought up. Every now and then I've had a couple of instances where people will notice what I'm doing and kind of avoid, and that's pretty cool too. It's not their place to do for us, because we're the ones out there doing the videoing, and we're kind of in their space too, so we have to mind their space. But kind of like when we went to Williamsburg, it was kind of hard not to accidentally video people. Well, I wasn't accidentally. I was mainly focused on what was in front of me, and I tried to make sure that always, I'm pointing at something and something of interest. I know when Kurt was at the Grand Canyon, he had a couple places where, it was pretty darn crowded. And as a YouTuber or a videoer, for that matter, it's kind of hard to shoot cool videos when you've got 15, 20 people coming in and out, the trail you're on. Here in a minute, I am going to bring a guest in, and they're going to talk about where they went. That's okay, Max. Hey, everybody's allowed to talk. something else I want to bring up. I know this Yankees Outdoor Adventures. That's another channel. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna stop right there. Yankees Outdoor Adventures. Go check him out. I'll leave a link after this video down in the bottom for his YouTube channel. I've been on his chats before. Hey, Gunslinger Outdoors, how's it going? I've been on one of his chats before, and I know how his chats are formatted. And his chats have nothing to do with anything that's going to get, I don't understand, demonetized or anything for that matter. But for some reason, YouTube is picking on Yankee, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. But go show the guy some love. And, I mean, he does nothing. I've never seen one of his videos or one of his live chats that would be anything out of the ordinary. I mean, I can't understand. I mean, I show guns on my channel from time to time. I don't understand it. I really don't understand why they're picking on him or what's going on there. So I noticed he said something to me about it when I put the thing up for this live chat tonight, that he might be in the channel or on the chat, but we can't see him. So Gunslinger, what do you think about this ammo shortage? It's kind of crazy. We were talking about, since you're in here, Hi Camp, that is something to do with YouTube. There's channels out there I've been sub to for a long time, and all of a sudden I notice I don't see them anymore, and I get to look in, and all of a sudden I'm not sub to them anymore. And it's like, wait a minute, I've been sub to him for 6-7 years. How is I'm not sub to him anymore? So it's something to do with YouTube. So anyway, I was making a little conversation with Gunslinger here. Me and a guy at work were talking. He's big into guns too. Guy's carry permit. His father just passed away. He left him a bunch of guns that, he knew he was going to be getting eventually. And here he had a bunch himself. We were talking about how silly is it that 223 selling from anywhere from $1 to $1.35, $1.40 a round in some cases. 50 BMG, 305. $2 more a round, you can buy 50 BMG. As a matter of fact, looking at the BMG prices, they really haven't jumped up a lot. And I've even seen some websites having sales on 50 BMG. Crazy, crazy. I was honestly looking for another shotgun here of recent. Now I've just given up. I said, not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm happy with what I got. I'm just going to keep what I got. Not going to add anything else. Not shooting anything right now unless I go to a certain range. Low moan ammo. Components are quite scarce. Okay, talking about that, I saw a video tonight. I watched this. One of the things I know people are having problems with is primers. Federal came out and said, if Chase MK is who I'm thinking about, you owe me money for an AR-15. Anyway, Federal Premium came out a couple days ago. The video's out there on the world. If you have to go to NRA website, wherever. But they were talking about right now primers. The reason why you're not seeing primers because they're using all their primers to make ammunition, which makes sense. Their main goal is to make ammunition right now. Their main goal is not to set the primers out for reloaders. And I get the problems that the reloaders are having too. Can't find components. Well, this is the same thing that happened the last time that all this happened. And it got to where the components were so dried up it wasn't even funny too. I had thought about getting into reloading myself, Max, at one time. And 2 years ago, I actually had the opportunity to buy a whole reloading setup from a guy. And I passed on it and said, no, I don't shoot enough to have to worry about needing reloading components and reloading myself and getting into all that and having to set up an area just to reload and all that. Max, I was kind of wondering, is that kind of your reloading room in that video today? Are you reloading that room too? I'll let you respond to that. But I don't know. Maybe if things come back around again and clean up, stuff hits the fan, none matter because. Yeah, no kidding. So that is my son. It's working right now. Okay. I'm like, Max, well, maybe you ought to do a video and you're reloading at some point, just to show off your reloading room. Because I had a feeling that was what some of that stuff was in the back, was you're reloading. Because I kind of saw, I thought, man, it looks like reloading stuff in the back of his room there. Like your little room. That's pretty cool. But you'll watch a football game during work. I know that. So anyways, so Federal was putting that out. This is the other thing that caught me, that Federal said, the guy from Federal said that they have made more hunting ammunition in 2020 than they have in since Federal Ammunition started making ammunition. That's crazy to think that in the time of their company's been going, they made more ammunition in the year of 2020 than they have in their whole entire company going. That's kind of doesn't make sense. I wasn't aware until I read that article a little bit too, is how many factories they actually have. Is they have 3 factories total, Spear, Federal Ammunition, and whatever the other one is they own, the other conglomeration ammo. They have 3 different factories, 3 different places. And the other thing that hit them is when couple of the states they were in shut down, they had to shut down. So they couldn't make ammo. Yeah, everybody's stockpiling. I've got 100 rounds of 9mm coming out. I found a good price on it. I bought 100 rounds. I don't need it, but I'm adding it to the collection. I've got plenty of ammo that I can go shoot. I mean, here recent, we went and shot. We've got a range here up the road from us that the last time I talked to him, he said, and this has been a couple of weeks ago, he said he should have enough for people to come and shoot with no problem. They use a reloading manufacturer that's in Tennessee, and should make shells. Right. Well, I'll finish this. So I'm hoping to go up there here in a couple of weeks and at least shoot pistol. I can't shoot rifle in their range, unfortunately, because they don't have the backstop to do it. But talking about, Chase brought up a good point. When you go to the stores, the shelves are bare. How are they pumping out all this ammunition? Well, one of the things I have talked to my local Academy sports guy, sorry, I'm sending a text. He says as soon as they put it on the shelf, people are there buying it, just sucking it right off the shelf. He said he's literally put it on the shelf, turned around, walked out, come back with another box of something else, and it's gone. So I get it. I mean, I know personally. There's a Walmart up the street. Back before they went totally nuts on guns and ammo, they had people that they would call to tell them that ammo was there on the shelf, ready to go, come get it. And they would come and get it. And when time me and you got there, it was gone. It was totally gone. So, I mean, that's what happens too a lot. You get some of these, like Academy Sports, like Walmart, where they become buddies with the people over the counter, behind the counter. And the buddies behind the counter calls Bob and says, "Hey, Bob, I just got a case of 9mm, and hey, I just got a case of 223 in," and they're down there buying it up before it hits the shelf, or as it's hitting the shelf. So that's how that happens. There's some of your local gun stores, I'm sure that's happening too. They're buddies, they're big money spenders. They're probably calling and say, "Hey, I got a case of this week. You want it? Okay, if you don't, click, call the next guy, and he'll come buy it from you." So I imagine that's what's happening, is you're getting a lot of that too. I got to make a little room because I promised this week I would have a guest for a few minutes. And as you can see, Chloe, the outdoors girl, is here. Stand up.
I am.
Oh, so everybody say hi to Chloe. That's your brother. I wonder if he knows his icon's pink. No, she don't have school work yet, but she will.
Yeah, I have.
Now, last week, I think I even mentioned it in the video that her and her mom were gone to Florida. And where was it y'all went?
Universal Studios. She's asleep, by the way.
Yeah, she got a headache.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Her sister did it. Anyway, so they went to Universal Studios. She's big time Harry Potter. You're wearing a Florida shirt. Nobody can see it. Marco Island. If I angle the camera, okay, wait a minute. If you angle the camera down, you don't see the junk as bad. But anyway, so they went to Randy Blackburn. What's up, brother? So they went to what did I say? Universal. Did the Harry Potter thing. They brought back Chase got him a Fast and Furious hat. I hadn't seen it on him, but he got a Fast and Furious hat. I got a couple things. I'll have to show Chase tomorrow. But you had a good time. How was your experience being in that park with COVID? She didn't have COVID.
No.
Let me get that straight. They didn't have COVID, and so far they still don't have COVID. So
it's good.
It was good. So how was your all's experience, though?
Good. They had like people in the parks that had just like signs around their necks that said, "Please keep your mask on." And like they would just stand there, and that was their job, just have that sign on their body and they would get they would have a megaphone. So if you had your masks down as you're like walking, they would yell at you on the megaphone. And I was in the Jimmy Fallon ride, and I come out, Mom goes, "They yelled at a few people." I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Way down there, they yelled at people."
Oh, wow.
But they had like in all the rides, they would have like theme music for whatever it is, whatever ride it was. And like in between it, like message of like, "Please have your mask on if you're stationary, or if you're not stationary and not eating or drinking."
The other thing the wife was telling me too is if it, what?
I'm like, my teeth are chattering.
It's chilly out here. One of the things my wife was telling me too is if you stop to take a drink of something, you had to get over to the side.
Yeah.
Pull your mask down, take your drink, put your mask back up, and then
run.
There
was this one little kid. He was drinking. He was about 10 maybe. He had a bottle of water, and he was walking and had his mask down. And he's drinking, and this lady yelled at him. And she worked there and goes, "Pull your mask up." And he did it. And then looked at her and then turned away and pulled it back down and kept going.
Yeah, that's when you're outside. That's at Universal Studios, Gunslinger. You know, when I was at Williamsburg, we were up doing Williamsburg and all that. It was the same way. You had to wear the mask inside, but now outside, no, was it? I don't remember seeing people having to wear masks out. Well, no, because even the guy doing the cooking demonstration, he didn't have one on. It depends on the state you're in, and it's kind of funny because Florida is more liberal about. Well, okay, let me use that word right. They're more. They're not as strict on the mask wearing as some other states.
Like this was outside.
Yeah.
Me looking homeless.
Well, here you looking homeless. This outfit is because she went on a water ride and she got wet.
And we didn't pack extra clothes for that.
Who would have thought you would have got wet on a water ride?
Because I didn't plan on it.
So anyway, but yeah, it's however you feel about the mask wearing. I get it and I understand it. I was talking to Mom today, and they got to go down to the activity center for the first time since March of last year in the nursing home she's at. That's the first time she's been able to go down to the activity center and leave her room, actually. It's that everybody asks me why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it so I can get back to see my mother. She has had her first round of, what is this? That is the whole point of water rides. Wet. Right, Max. Okay, back when Opryland was still open here, we always saved the water rides for the last part of the day because we knew you're going to get drenched when you go hit the water rides. And that way, when you got in the car, you're soaking wet.
My phone was the only thing that stayed dry. So we put it in a
That's
Ziploc bag.
That's a good thing. So anyway, when it warms up, me and Chloe are going camping. I have to go. Nice chat. Take care. Keep exploring the outdoors. Oh, we're going to, and that's something else we're going to be talking about is our first camping trip of the year because I want to go camping. But it's going to have to warm up. But I want her to figure out where she would like to go next. Somewhere new, somewhere different. And maybe I can somewhere fun and festive. So anyway, I think she's fixing to go in because she's cold.
It's not that bad.
We can buy you. Okay, he's telling.
It's warmer in here than it was outside of the trailer Monday night. Or one of the days. Wednesday.
So one of the things I've been thinking about and talking about these live videos, my hands are just eat up. One of the things I've been talking about doing with these live videos, behind me is a truck cab. I've got this idea. Yeah, you can't see it because there's crap piled on it. Matter of fact, there's one of the doors. So I had an idea. Yeah, Chase, we're going to go camping. Matter of fact, me and you may go camping for me and her because she doesn't like the cold, cold weather. You don't mind it. You've still got insulation on you. Anyway, I come up with an idea to take this old truck cab and turn it into a kind of studio. What I'm getting at is set it up to where there's a camera facing in the windshield, put 2 seats in or a bench seat in it, kind of do an interior in it.
Like a podcast room.
Do kind of a scene on the back window of the mountains or something. And have that as a video studio kind of thing. So Randy, I love Davy Crockett. If you're talking about the one in one we went to, you're talking about the one I've got a video on, correct? I would imagine. Well, there's David Crockett State Park and there's Davy Crockett State Park, or Davy Crockett birthplace. There's 2 different places in Tennessee with Davy Crockett's name all over it. Me and Will are going to be stealing the tent a few times this year. Yeah, okay.
Next time you do this, I'm going to bring you my light ring I got for Christmas.
I don't need a light ring. It's not TikTok. Anyway.
Yeah, the light is messy. It's blinding.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Chase, there's a rental fee on my tents. Anyway, Randy, that is a cool park. I love that state park. I think Fraser Douglas even did a video, or I think he's got a video from there too. But I love David Crockett State Park. It's David Crockett State Park. Davy Crockett's a different place. Davy Crockett is where I went to summer camp. Yes, okay, that's the Boy Scout camp. Chase went to a Boy Scout camp in East Tennessee. That's Davy Crockett Park for the Scout Council. So there's actually 3 different places in the state of Tennessee with his name on it for camping, but one of them's for Boy Scouts. I actually passed where he went on our way back from Virginia this last time when we were up there. So I see my son's challenged me. We got to go camping. We've got to go camping. I agree. Speaking of camping, and one of the last camping trips me and him went on together, just had a big double murder at Reelfoot Lake.
Wait, what?
I don't know if anybody's heard about this outside of Tennessee. 2 duck hunters were in there blind. Another guy come up, and they're still looking for this guy. They're trying to find this guy. He's from up there. No, the ducks didn't kill him.
Okay.
But this guy shot both of them dead, and they're duck blind for some reason. They don't know the reason behind it yet, and they're still looking for the guys, and it's kind of crazy. But that happened up there where me and Chase have been to Reelfoot Lake, and been saying that. I know. Damn, yeah. That's what I said when I first read it. You know, when I first talked about it on the news here, that they were just they were sitting, from what everybody says, they were just sitting in their blind. This guy comes up, starts an argument with them, and shoots them, kills them both. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what part of the state those guys were from, Chase. Do you know? I'll let you answer since you're. But anyway, it's kind of crazy some of the things that happened. You know, was it last year, year before last, when we had that crazy guy hit the AT and was chopping people up, you know. Thank God it was kind of a centralized place, but I mean, he killed the guy and wounded the guy's girl. And I mean, just Pete. Yeah, probably. Oh, okay. But yeah, you never know what's going to happen in some of these places. I mean, 99% of the time, you're not going to have a problem. I've never had a problem anywhere I've been camping, and I've been camping alone. I know Max has been camping alone. I've never had problems. I don't understand, you know, bad people do bad things when they want to, not when you expect it. Just like the bombing downtown Nashville, you know, nobody saw that coming. Well, turns out they did hear it could happen. Poor guy's girlfriend tried to warn him, and they didn't think it was a credible thing. It was a credible thing. Oh yeah, okay. So, like I said, it's open talk now, so we're all over the place. This sweatshirt I've got on, you know, it's got distress flag. We get close to the camera. The little things have got crosses on the pulls, and then on the zipper, it has MTO, Mid-10 Outdoors. Now,
I forgot to tell Chase who I saw the other day.
No, we can talk about that.
I know, I just forgot about it.
But so what I did is I went to Walmart, bought a $9 zip-up hoodie, went on Etsy, bought the flag, ironed it on myself, got the beads off Amazon, found this zipper pull. You can have them custom made on Etsy and add it to the jacket. I got a custom jacket now.
Wait, when did you order that from Etsy?
About the same time as I did this.
Dang.
Yeah.
That came in fast.
Yep. Yeah, you always have to keep a lookout for your surroundings. Sometimes in the woods, you even have to keep a lookout for what might be sneaking up on you in the way of an animal. I've had that happen a couple times. Deer sneak up on me hiking, and I don't want to give anything else away. Go watch Kurt Zetzelman's latest video from the Grand Canyon. You'll understand what I'm talking about. He had some visitors while he was watching the moon come up over the Grand Canyon. Go check out the video. I'm not going to say anything else. But it was a really cool video. Go see it. I like repping my people on here. But yeah, you never know what's going to sneak up on you. You always have to keep. Fall Creek Falls, this last trip we were on, I was going to the bathroom. Okay. And I'm walking along. Now, it got in the 40s the first night. It was cold. It was cold. Okay. Randy just said something in the chat where I'm going.
I don't mess with demons.
Okay. So I'm walking to the bathroom, and I'm walking past. There's RV sitting here, and there's RV sitting here and here. I'm walking to the bathroom. I just happened to look down, look up in front of me. I was like, what the hell? And I'm thinking, okay, why isn't it moving? And I'm thinking, okay, temperatures are cold. There's a snake laying on the ground. There's a snake laying in the trail. I look over at the guy sitting by his campfire, and I said something to him. I said, dude, come here. So he comes over there, and I said, look at the snake. And there's a rattlesnake laying in the trail. It was about that long. It was a long, big, thick sucker. And he's like, yo, whatever his name was with him. Bring me that shovel over here. And about that time, the other campsite, a woman looks around to see what's going on. She hollers at her kid, did you leave that snake laying in the trail? It was a rubber snake. That's why it wasn't crawling off. And I told her, I said, I tell you what, I said, that thing was about to be in some pieces, or there was about to be a mess on the trail. Because when I first saw it, it startled me at first. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a snake in the trail. What's a snake doing in the trail? And that's the first time I'd seen a snake anywhere in a park. God, since I went to the Smokies as a kid, that's the last time I saw an actual snake on a trail somewhere. So yeah, Randy, that little comment that was leading right where I was going with that. And I told Chloe when I got back, I said, "You're not going to believe what happened." And I said, I was ready to go to the truck and get a gun and start shooting at the sucker.
You should have thought I wasn't with you.
But it was a fake snake or kid laid in the trail, and they thought he'd already picked it up, and he hadn't. Which I
hate children.
Man, I got to the bathroom though. I'll tell you that. Let's see. Me and Chase were up in Ohio. He had already gone to bed. This is when we went up to Dave Canterbury's thing. Speaking of which, there you go. We went up to Dave Canterbury's self-reliance weekend thing he used to have. Now he started it back, I think. I think he's going to really do it big this year. It's water. You're going to have to go get more. Look at that. Go get my water. Anyway, snake on the trail, shots fired. Yeah, that's it. I was sitting out waiting for the fire to die down. Chase went to bed. And I just happened to look over because I saw something on my peripheral vision. And I looked around and realized it was two skunks running around a camper like 3 sites over from us. But I turned my flashlight on them so I could see them. And I was like, it's time to go to bed. Skunks are playing. But of course, I made sure all the food put up and everything. I see my girl slowly backed off and ran and hit. Oh, crap. Boy Scouts, we went to Smoky Mountains one year. we did day hikes on the AT in different places. Went up to Baldy, a couple of the different things up there. We were on a trail. That was the only day that we actually saw wildlife the whole time we were on the trail. We saw a rattlesnake across the trail. About 2 miles past that, we were walking along, and all of a sudden the leaders told us all to stop. We stopped. We're like, what? What's going on? And then we started hearing it down below us, and there was 4 or 5 wild boar playing down the hill from where we were hiking. So we stopped, and we waited for them to play, and then we started kind of creeping off to that way we didn't get noticed and get on away from them. The wild boar are, to me, the scariest thing you can run across in the Smokies other than a bear. And most of the time, the bear are going to run from you. Most of the time. They should run from you. They should be scared of you. Loud noises, they can't stand it. Now, Chase will tell you this, if he's still in here. Chase remembers this. We were Boy Scouts. We were in the Boy Scouts when he was in the Scouts. Tetons. Gunslinger. Joe Robinette has a video out where it was him and another guy were fishing and canoeing at the same time, and the other guy had gone to try to find a GoPro he lost. And while the guy was gone looking for a GoPro, Joe's cooking. And all of a sudden he starts hearing these noises behind him, and it's grunting and growling-ish kind of noises. And he kept trying to scare it off, and it wasn't going away. And he felt very sure it was a bear behind him. And, of course, up there, the bears don't get as jittery as they do around the Smokies. But, okay, back to my story. Me and Chase and his scout troop went snow skiing one year. It was getting close to the end of the ski year. Pretty sure Chase ended up on his butt more times than he did on his skis. I stayed off of them because I'm too old to try anymore, and I would probably break something. So anyway, we're all standing out on the deck. We'd all been skiing. Everybody been skiing. Everybody been playing around. We were standing on the deck, and I heard somebody in the house say, what I thought they said was, oh, look, there's a deer out by the trash cans. No, that's not what he said. Oh, look, there are bear out by the trash cans.
Big difference.
Big difference. The bear come around the house. We're all standing out on the deck. Now, this was kind of a family thing, so we had some of the moms and some of the other siblings there with us. For the most part, it was just the scout troop and the Boy Scouts and the leaders. There's a lot more there than normal. We're standing on the deck. We were actually, I think they were cooking too. I think we were cooking supper. I think Chase has already had to go back to work. Thank God. Anyway. Give him my money, man. Okay. Anyway, so we're standing there and the bear come around below us on the deck. We're on the deck up high. They're down below. One of the guys with us starts waving at it and screwing with the bear, in which we kept saying, stop, don't do that. The bear got interested. I'm still kicking food, fool. I'm still kicking, fool. So the bear comes around to the deck and starts climbing the deck. You remember this, Chase? We all, as adults, start running over children, women, whoever's in our way to get in the door, to get inside, because there's a bear climbing the damn deck. Finally, we all get inside, leave it alone, he goes away. But, I mean, that bear was coming up that deck and wasn't going slow about it, but we were about to run over women and children just to get back in the building, in the chalet. I was laying in bed. Oh, that's right. You were downstairs and could see the bear down there. Because they had windows that were on the downstairs, and he was in the bed, and he could see the bear face to face. So anyway,
Like, one of
I
your
forgot
friends?
that's where you were on that. But anyway, so yeah, that was pretty funny because that bear was coming up that deck, and I thought, I mean, I seriously, there was one of the guy's moms. I pushed out of the way to get back into the cabin. I'm 6'3". I said, "Woman, you're coming in." I seriously did, guys. I seriously did. I
So
ran over a
mean.
woman trying to get back in a cabin because of a bear.
So mean.
Tell you that story. I got to tell you a Boy Scout story. Chase was at his first year at Webelows at Boxville, staying the night. The first night, thunderstorm from you know what comes up. Now, when I was in Scouts, we had thunderstorms. You're just mean. Safety first. Safety
Women
first.
and children first.
Young. I'm too old. I'm too young to die old or something.
You
I
were
don't know.
younger then.
Anyway, so thunderstorm comes up. We all have to go to the dining hall. It's hotter and blazes in there, even with the air conditioner on. It's the building sweating. There's so many people in there. It's so hot in the storm. I go outside and I'm talking to one of the other leaders. And there's a couple of the Boy Scouts out there with us. Lightning struck a pole that was about 20 feet from us. Once again, Patrick, being the person he is, doesn't want to see anybody get hurt. So I throw him out of the way to get back in the building from the lightning strike. I'm pushing Boy Scouts, leaders, anybody else that's in my way, out of the way to get in the building because lightning is striking.
Like tiny boys?
But I always thought didn't care. I'm going in the building because there's a lightning storm. Anyway, I always thought it was weird because when I was in Scouts, and I know it's a new thing, storms that have happened in the past, the tornado that hit, I think it was out in Colorado that killed the Scouts, scout camp. So I know they have to take you have to take a little different approach to it than you used to.
Then it was everyone for themselves.
I remember that, Chase. They were all like, bear, bear, bear. Then bear starts climbing up the deck and bear, 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 going the other way. But I understand. I mean, when we was in Scouts, thunderstorm came up. Yeah, okay. I'll talk about that one in a second too. When storms came up when I was in Scouts, we just stayed in our tent, went back to sleep. We didn't think about it, And after that incident, back in the day,
Storm when I was in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
When we got there.
They had a bad storm in Wisconsin when they went up there.
As we were unloading the truck.
The camp, what was it called?
Oh.
There's a video.
We don't need to pronounce it.
There's a video on YouTube. Anyway. Wandawega. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, what Chase is talking about, Tornado National Jamboree when I was in Boy Scouts, 1985. Starting to sound like that comedian now. 1985, I was at Boy Scout National Jamboree, and I was. It was downgraded Tropical Storm Bob. Was Hurricane Bob before it hit, but it got downgraded Tropical Storm. Me and my best friend Tom were in the same scout troop, grew up together and all that stuff. We were out, of course, we were out, just out and about. It was getting stormy and stuff, so we're just out and about. And I'll read that in a second. We'll read what he says, Chloe. And they told us that all day we're under a tornado watch, storms all day, this, that, and another. We're standing in a tent, one of those big tents. When I say big tents, it had 4 poles going down the center of it. That's how tall this thing was. It was circus tent size. And I just happened to look out across the field, and it's probably 300-400 yards away. And there's a tornado going across away from us. And I was like, I looked at Tom, and I mean, the wind got up. I looked at Tom, I said, do you see that? Everybody was like, yeah, we need to go down. We need to go down the valley. We don't need to be up here.
Danger.
Okay, so what did he say?
I was up in State Wisconsin helping teach a
Course.
cervical course. We had a bear walking the camp. Definitely put you on your toes for sure. If we just saw a bear in Wisconsin, I would have been like, we're turning this around. We're going home.
Yeah, Chloe wouldn't do a bear, I don't think, too well.
No.
No, it was kind of like a circus tent that they had set up for the Boy Scouts. Because they had. I can't go anywhere without getting some kind of. Anyway, it was kind of like a circus tent. Tornadoes are nature's room.
I must have mean it had like an Ouija board on the floor and it said, "Hope the Roomba doesn't summon a demon."
Hi, Camp. Got to talk about the tornadoes, and we always say never buy a house or move into a subdivision that's close to a trailer park, or as we call them, tornado magnets.
We live here too.
You know what's crazy? We're only 2 months away from being 1 year when that tornado come through Mount Juliet. Just now getting to where they're hoping, I think, the beginning of February to start building the schools back.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So it's kind of crazy how long it takes for all that transpire. I mean, that's of course insurance, city municipalities arguing about one thing and telling them you got to build it this way, you can't build it this way. It's been a mess. But they're still rebuilding houses, and they're still rebuilding houses all along that path. Matter of fact, there's a place up in Cookville that was hit. There's 3 houses that are totally destroyed. They're turning it into a park or a memorial thing instead of building the houses back. So I think those 3 houses, there was 2 deaths in each house, in one of the houses or something. So anyway, we've had a good chat tonight. I don't know that I'm going to end it yet, but slept through a tornado in my
spring barn
once. Had no clue. I remember staying in my stock feet, my grandmother's, in my grandfather's brother's storm shelter, as one was coming down their road, and my grandfather and all the people there were holding a boat down. They didn't want his bass boat to go anywhere. All joking aside, tornadoes are serious business. Yeah, we live with them more here than we ever did. You know, we're in what they call Dixie Alley now. We haven't had a bad outbreak in a long time, and I can't say that. I mean, the March tornado was pretty bad because it started downtown Nashville and it went all the way to Cookville, which is, what did I say, 65-mile trek. Yeah. One of the longest running tornadoes in the South. So let's see, what about the snowstorm? Oh, yeah.
But with the dude sleeping through the tornado,
yeah,
he probably would have slept through the tornado.
Yeah,
we didn't wake him.
And that's the other thing I don't know about Chase is he sleeps. When he sleeps, he sleeps. And I've had to call him and say, dude, you might want to come downstairs. There's a tornado down the road. It's coming this way. You know. Oh, there is?
And then y'all go and stay on the porch.
Well, we'll see it. But no, there are no joke. They're not something that, you know, you have to take them serious. And we have our precautions here. I'd like to have a tornado room in this garage at some point or in the next house for sure, because it is getting to be kind of a problem around here. But it is what it is. We'll do what we got to do and however we got to do it. Chase talking about the snowstorm. You're going to make me tell all my stories. I got other live things I'm going to do eventually. Anyway, snowstorm he's talking about. We went to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. We went to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky when I was in Scouts. There was 3 tents together. It was 3 older guys that were there, had tents. We went to bed. It was cold. Oh, God, it was cold. It was so cold, I was changing a mantle on the lantern that broke. I took the little screw off, sat it down, set the lid down, pulled the glass off, and somebody goes, "Dude, you just turned that off." That's how cold it was. It didn't even bother me to touch that hot glass. So I'm going to have to ban my son from these chats. Anyway, we go to bed that night, and I'm laying there, and of course, can't go to sleep, and we're kind of talking amongst ourselves in the three tents that are kind of in a triangle. And Tom goes, "Dude, it's raining." I said, "Tom, it's 25 degrees outside. There's no way it's rain." "Yeah, it's rain. Listen." I'm like, "That's not rain." Here in southern Wisconsin has been getting quite a few tornadoes last couple of years. Yeah, it's because of the pattern change of the weather. I mean, we haven't had a real snowfall. What? You were still in elementary school.
Like third grade. We had that big one.
So, I mean, that's like 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
5.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute. So anyway, 2016.
Yeah.
2016, thank you, Jace. So anyway, I go, "Tom, there's no way that's rain." Unzip my tent, and the ground's already white. And I said, "Tom, open the tent." He goes, "Man, I'm cold." Open the tent, dude. He opens his tent. He goes, "Should we wake the leaders?" I was like, "Nope." Zip my tent back up. I got back in my Army sleeping bag, went to sleep. We got up next morning. We got 5 inches of snow overnight. The leaders were scared out of their mind because they got to drive us back to Tennessee from Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. Is an hour and a half drive. Turned into a 3-hour drive coming back home. We got to a certain point in Tennessee, though. It hadn't snowed a bit. But up in Kentucky, I mean, it was 5 and 6 inches in places. And it was a nightmare coming home. But we had a chance to wake up the leaders. And I imagine the leaders probably heard it at one point and said, "Zip, crap, zip." But we were like, "Should we wake the leaders and tell them it's snowing?" Nope, But that's the first time I ever camped in snow, was that camping trip.
But the 2016 one, there was like 13 inches of snow.
Yeah, we got 13 inches. They
canceled my birthday party.
Yeah, canceled our birthday party. Me and Bill went out riding around in the Jeep.
Oh, I remember that.
And then
all the donuts at the school.
The donuts at the school. We got Good Night Gunslinger. Actually, we've been running 1 hour and 17 minutes. And when I'm having this much fun, eventually it has to stop, I guess. I appreciate everybody that has come on tonight. Let's see. It shows 6 people in here, but I'm only seeing...
That's in the chat.
Right. That's in the chat. There's Gunslingers, Hike Camp. There's Chase. We know Chase.
You need to work.
Gunslinger. Anybody seen any mountain lions in Tennessee yet? Randy, it's interesting you say that. TWRA has spotted some mountain lions in the Middle Tennessee area. They have proof, and they have put it on TWRA. Look it up on TWRA. They have got proof from game cams of mountain lion. One of the sightings is about 5-minute drive from here.
Wait, where?
Down by the lake. Chase knows what I'm talking about.
What?
So, yes, look on TWRA's website. They have them posted. And here's another one to hang a hat on, Randy, is there's been bear sightings in Clarksville. And they have footage of both of them. Lots of lions in Wyoming. Have you ever run across them, Max? Have you ever had an encounter with mountain lions in your travels and camps? I've never. I mean, of course, they're starting to see them because they're coming out of places that's being overpopulated. Smoky Mountains up around Gatlinburg, Sevierville, out in those areas, they're starting to squeeze out a lot of the wildlife. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, that's pretty good. But yeah, they've had some bear sightings in Clarksville. Me and Chase and his sister, older sister, went camping at a place. I didn't find out until after we came back that they'd had sightings of bears. So there you go. I mean, hearing from her, the girl that was telling me about this that lives up that way, she goes, "Oh yeah, we see bear every time. Seen them, but no encounters." It's probably true. A lot of that's the other thing, talking about a lot of the wildlife. They hear you coming, hear us coming. We're always, making so much noise. They scatter before we actually, get up on them. Predators don't like to be found. They don't like to be found at all. I've got another story, but I'm not going to tell it on this video. I'll tell it on the next video, the next live chat we do. Speaking of that, probably going to be 2 weeks before I do the next live chat. May go a little longer. What I'll do, like I did this last time, I will put a video out on Thursday announcing the video for Friday night. It'll be a 9 o'clock video like it was this time. I think it's a good round time because Max's time zone, I think it's, let's see, in your place, it's probably 8:30, 9:30 maybe.
What
Pacific? No, he's actually, aren't you Mountain Time, Max?
So that would be.
I know Shasta Valley, when he's on, he's out in California, so he's Pacific time. Randy, I think, is my time zone. No Chase. I'm not sure where Gunslinger is 100%. But anyway, so guys, it's been a great night. We've had a good fun. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I appreciate it. She appreciates it. She just doesn't show it.
I'm just tired.
Yep, Mountain Time. That's what I was thinking.
So 8. Should be
no,
7.
It's.
Should be. Oh no.
It's 10:30 here.
Yeah.
So it's 8:30 there, Mountain Time. 9:30. Something. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, that'll be 9.
All right, guys. So we're going to end it now. I appreciate everybody that showed up. I thank you a lot. It's been a great time. Great chat, Patrick and Chloe. Yep. I appreciate Max. I appreciate Randy. Gunslinger. Ghost Tactical was here for a minute or two. Chase, back to work. Make some money.
Yes.
Get your own place.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Stay here as long as you want. We may move out.
I know where you all
I know where you sleep. Yep. Yep. I've got a gun by my bed. So anyways, I appreciate everybody coming in. It's great fun. These will build as we go. Like I said, probably about 2 weeks out before I do another one. I'll do the video Thursday before and say, hey, we're going to do another video. We're going to do another live on Friday night. And I'm going to run it like I did this time. I'm going to have outdoor news. What?
It's one of my friends. I sent it to. She said, you're welcome.
Oh.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Miranda. We'll do the outdoor news for mid-February. Anything news coming up?
Hi.
And have another little show and tell. I don't know what it'll be. We'll do something. I did the hiking sticks this time, so if you missed it, you'll have to go back and watch the hiking sticks, the difference between a trekking pole and a hiking stick. They both serve the purpose. I know Hobo Cop was asking about it last time we did a live stream. So if you have something you want to see on show and tell, put it down in the comments, and I'll do it. Or send me an email at mid10outdoors69@gmail.com. I'll leave that in the link below. Everybody can watch the video again. That'd be nice. More time. All right, guys, we're out. Be prepared. Chase, get to work.
Please.
Well, it's down here. End.